My guests today on Dance Talk are Stewart Lane and Bonnie Comley, who Stewart's known as Mr. Broadway because he has become successful in so many different aspects of Broadway shows and other things. As you will soon see, he's won 7 Tony Awards and many dozens of awards. Literally, he's been an actor. He's been mostly there for producing such shows like Will Rogers Follies, like Cage Au Folles, Thoroughly Modern Millie. And welcome to the podcast. And thanks for joining me with this.
Well, Dan, we're happy to be here, and it's good to see you again.
Yeah, and he's perhaps most famous in the Hamptons for driving around in this very low yellow sports car that I don't know how he gets in and out of. What kind of car is it, and how long have you had it?
Well, it's actually a red Ferrari from 2006, convertible. I sort of bought it as a last hurrah. I bought it when my twin boys were born. So it was like almost 15 and a half years ago.
But the car hasn't grown.
It's grown in value.
I see. Okay. And I've known you for a long, long time and I enjoyed numerous parties at your house up in East Hampton, up in the woods. And tell me, what would you like to talk about today? We have 20 minutes, or now 18.
Well, Bonnie and I have been working on an exciting project. We launched a website called BroadwayHD back in 2015. And the concept was to capture live Broadway productions and get the experience of being there if you couldn't afford a Broadway ticket or couldn't afford to come to New York. So it's a live capture with multiple cameras, with point of view shots and close-ups of live Broadway productions. And now we have over 350 shows on our website, BroadwayHD.com.
That's wonderful. It's especially during COVID. Many people are shy of going to a live indoor performance, and it's a great project you've been doing. How did you get so interested in so many different aspects of theater, and when did that come about in your life? Early on, I presume.
Oh, well, Bob and I have different histories to it. I fell in love with the theater at an early age, and I had my direction when my best friend at the time, when I was 9, 10, and 11, his name was Ricky. Ricky and I used to be best buddies, and his dad was an actor, and I'd never heard of his father before, but his father was going to be in a Broadway show, and they invited me to see him. And so it was my first Broadway show. It was my friend's father in it, and my friend's father was Sid Caesar.
It couldn't be better than that.
And I didn't know Sid was as big as he was now. Of course, I learned over the years, but it was great seeing him in the show. It was Little Me, a musical by Cy Coleman with a book by Neil Simon. And the whole experience of seeing the show and the audience's reaction to it, and then going backstage afterwards to see Sid holding court with his friends, and he has this little home away from home with his little TV and his hot plate and his refrigerator, and just seemed like a great experience. Storytelling like this and a lifestyle like this seemed like the best thing in the world. So I'd been given my marching orders, and so I had some direction. That was that.
And you grew up on Long Island, and where was Great Neck? I think.
Yeah, I grew up in Great Neck. I was there from 59 to 69 when I went off to college. Now Bonnie has a different story. She's from Massachusetts.
Oh, that's
yeah. Yeah. So I'm from Massachusetts, as Stu said, and I got into theater through reporting. So I was a reporter for the Travel Channel and was covering Broadway shows and off-Broadway shows, and always thought, going in with a camera to interview the actors who are part of the creative team there that, wouldn't it be great to share this with a wider audience? These shows are amazing. This talent is just beyond. So, so the seeds of Broadway HD were always there, but it wasn't till about 8 years ago that we sort of all the stars aligned, that the streaming possibilities were there, and the content was available. So Stu and I had done several of these individual captures of shows, and a capture of a play or a musical is very different than a movie. So the West Side Story that just came out that Steven Spielberg did is a movie, but there are the stage captures, or when someone goes into a theater that the show is being done on the stage, and we bring cameras in there and capture what's going on. So it's more like Hamilton, that's on Disney Plus right now, that's a digital capture. And that's really the content that we have that is our core content at Broadway HD, is these captures. So it looks like what it would look like if you were inside of the theater. And as Stu said, we have over 300 of those. And we, started looking into, so it's really exciting. And as Stu mentioned, it's for people that, it's for theater fans, and to create theater fans. It's just making these shows accessible to people that either in the pandemic couldn't get there, none of us could get there, or for people that just, they can afford it, but they just can't get to the show when it goes through their town. Because a lot of these shows, when they tour, the Broadway tours go by that are like for a week or 2 weeks. So if you didn't get that Hamilton ticket when it went by, then you missed it. Same with Phantom of the Opera. And, we have all of these great shows that are just creating theater fans because they have multiple experiences to be able to view, and know that they either like the musicals, or they love plays, or they love both, or they are Sondheim fans or Andrew Lloyd Webber fans. And then that just, what a fan is. I mean, if you've only seen Phantom of the Opera, you're not a theater fan, you're a Phantom of the Opera fan. So that multiple experiences of seeing things, that you have different experiences that you can talk about, that you like musicals, or that you like Andrew Lloyd Webber's composing. So it just creates theater fans.
So
what was the first one that you put on the site?
We had 100 when we launched.
That's right.
So, 7 years ago. Yeah, we had over 100 because we were trying to create a destination. And I think that is really what the legacy of Broadway HD will be, is that in the same way Turner Classics or MTV or Cartoon Network, that they aggregate all this similar content into one place. So I think that if people are looking to watch stage plays and musicals on their TV, on their screen, that Broadway HD is a great destination for that.
We felt that 100 was enough of a critical mass to start attracting people. Now we have well over 350 Broadway, West End, and some regional theater shows on our website. Only $11.99 to have access to that.
Broadway
a month. For all of the shows.
Did you have people tell you this wouldn't work when you first started?
Yes, we did. And certainly people have tried to do this before us, with different mediums. So, when cable TV came out, they tried pay-per-view, they tried VCRs, they tried DVDs, they tried Blu-ray, and they even tried in cinema. But there wasn't enough of a critical mass of people that watched their entertainment the way they did until buffering started. And all of a sudden, we were able to democratize Broadway and make it geographically accessible to a much wider audience that not only had a hunger and an appetite for live theater, but just could never get around to seeing it in New York, which has, of course, the best set designers and costume designers and writers and performers throughout the country.
But I don't think, Broadway HD and watching theater on TV isn't an either or. You can have both. You can watch digital, digitized or film theater, and you can go to the theater. So it's not like, oh, this is for people who can't get there. This is also for people who can get there.
Or just want to see things that aren't there anymore that they remembered and loved.
Or they love Phantom of the Opera. And here's, they can watch Phantom of the Opera again in the digital form. So it really is just another way to engage with the Broadway shows, to engage with this brand. In the same way that sports, that you can go to an arena. You can go to the stadium and see a baseball game, or you can watch it on TV. You don't have to pick one or the other. You can do both if you're a fan.
Yep. Tell me about what got you into producing a show.
Oh, you mean the shows in general? Well, I've been doing this a long time. I know I look too young to have been around as long as I have, but I knew you were going to say that. I know that, Dan. But the fact is, I was making the transition from acting into producing at a time when nobody was really wanted to produce. In the late 70s, Broadway was a vacuum. There were two shows that saved the Broadway scene. One was the Chorus Line, which saved the Schubert organization, and then there was Annie, which helped bolster the Niederlander organization. Other than that, there weren't enough popular shows there. There weren't even shows enough to fill categories.
I remember that time when just remembering it now, that there was a time when Broadway was really on the ropes.
Oh,
and what caused that? What was the problem?
Well, I think it was a changing audience. It was the rising price of tickets, and Broadway was slow to change. Now, by the time and of course, New York City was in an economic doldrums at the time.
Yes, right.
So that didn't help at all. But as the 80s started, we did one show, Woman of the Year, that I produced, started to actually help prime the pump. Then Cage Au Folles back in '83, and then of course Cats and Jesus. Then the Andrew Lloyd Webber shows, Phantom of the Opera, Starlight Express. I mean, all of a sudden Broadway started to get exciting again, and I was in the middle of producing. And this is before they started having classes. Now they actually teach classes in producing at Columbia and something called the CTI, the Commercial Theater Institute. But this was a time when you had to learn by doing it. So I really interned and apprenticed with other producers to learn how to produce.
Well, at that time, as I recall, from people I knew that were producing, they were some of them were just doing it. They knew they were going to lose money, and they just wanted to be around the theater, and so they were among the producers of a show. And then I guess they got to go and meet everybody.
Well, the odds are still not in your favor. 1 out of 5 shows will start making money. So that's pretty much the
yeah. Are you working on shows still to produce them, or have you moved on from that to the HD?
Bonnie and I actually nominated this year for Best Play that's on Broadway now, The Minutes by Tracy Letts is nominated.
What are we going to do someday when you're not around?
Well, I'll just have to stick around, I think.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And one of the last things I wanted to ask you is, what brought you out to the Hamptons, and why do you love being there?
Well, what?
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Well, we have 5 children, and so we were looking for, and they're all very different ages. So we were looking for some place that, well, at the time we only had 3 children. We were looking for some place that there was something for everyone. And Stu and I usually worked all the way through the summer, so we had never experienced the Hamptons. So we, spoke to some friends that had kids and said, you have to come to the Hamptons. There's, it's amazing. So we went out and we bought our house in East Hampton 24 years ago, I think it is now. And it's just been amazing that we pick up when the kids get out of school, and then we head out to the Hamptons. 2 of them, the last 2, were born while we were in the Hamptons in the summer. Well, this year it'll be 16 years ago. So it's been amazing. It's been, it's just everything that you hear about the Hamptons, that there's something for everyone. It's beautiful. There's art, there's culture, there's theater, there's beautiful beaches. So there's a sense of community that we have with the people that come out, in the summer with us, but there's also a year-round community that we have tried to support and befriend when we go out, because they're there year-round, keeping it beautiful for us or
Yeah.
to come out and land for those 3 months in the summer.
Yeah, and the technology kind of caught up with us and helped to make it a lot easier between the fax machines that developed into to be able to communicate with the banks and do transfers all from your own home. So I wouldn't have to commute to New York. I could read scripts, see set designs, see costume designs all on the internet.
Yep. And I was just thinking we lost Tony Walton a couple of months ago.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
He was amazing. It's just when his works are now in the Smithsonian. Did you know that? Yeah.
Deservedly so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to work with him on a few shows, and not only a talented guy, but a great guy to work with.
Tell me of anybody who you've worked with that stands out in your mind as an actor, people might know and that you would like to mention. Or isn't that a fair question? I have no idea.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, well, for me, with 20 plus years, it's kind of hard to pick out a favorite anywhere. It's just, it's just hard to, it's like with kids, you can't pick a favorite. Right? So I think that's the way I'm going to go, is that I love them all.
I'll go
They were
with
all
that.
Great experiences.
Well,
Or learning experiences at the very least.
This is a show that I put on, and thank you for being a guest, both of you being a guest on my show. And we have to get together. We have to get together soon. And
Sounds
I look
great.
forward to that.
So
Anyway, great to see you again. Be well. See you soon.
Thank you so much. Thanks for everything you do to keep the Hamptons the Hamptons.
Okay, bye-bye.